I'm going to show you how to make this little yoga guy, and he can be a pendant or a decoration. And for this one, I'm going to use some clear beads and pearly beads, so it could be a little pendant, or it could even go on a Christmas tree or as a sun catcher. I'm using 24 gauge wire. It has to be a little bit thinner wire to be able to go through the beads twice. You need flat pliers, cutters, and round pliers. So I've already cut a piece of wire that's about 20 inches long, and what you want to do is kind of find the halfway point a little bit and give it a little bit of a bend. And we're going to start by putting these beads here for the thigh. So we'll give it a little bend. I'm actually going to turn one of the ends a bit so the beads don't fall off. And then I'll work on this side. And we'll put the thigh bead on with the fatter part first, like that. And we want to make sure that the hole is nice and clear in the bead. And then we're going to put a little bead for the knee. And then the other bead for the shin. And then a bead for the foot. This is a little flower bead. And then what we actually want to do is we're going to pull the wire around the foot bead, but then we want to feed it back through these 3 beads. So it has to be able to fit through those 3 beads twice. So we've pulled this wire back through these beads. And what we want to do is make sure the foot bead stays against those beads. And we're going to make sure it's nice and tight. And then we're going to, with our pliers, to get a better grip on the wire, we're going to pull this wire through, make sure the foot bead stays towards there. We're going to pull it through so it all holds together like that. So we actually have, this wire is going to go back up. So we have one leg like that, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other leg and put our beads through. So we have these beads on for the other leg, and now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull the wire around and put it up through these 3 beads and there. Okay, so now we have the 2 legs done, and now we're going to put both wires together and put the body beads. So I have a kind of a flatter bead for the hips that we're going to put both wires through. And then I have this nice heart bead here that we'll put at the top. So that will be the body like that. And then we're actually going to put these down for the arms, and we're going to put our arm beads on. So I'm going to use the same teardrop bead for the top of the arm. I'll use a slightly smaller bead for the elbow. And then I'm going to use just a little different bead for the forearm, just to give it some variety. And then a little pearly bead for the hand. So that'll be our arm, and I'm actually going to leave a little bit of space there for the shoulder. And then we're going to do the same thing where we go around the hand and work our way back up through these 3 beads. So there are the wires going back through the 3 beads of the arm, and we're just going to hold this with the pliers and pull it tight, and you'll see it's left a little bit of a space on the shoulder. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So here's the second arm. We always have the fatter part at the top of the arm, and then these 3 beads, and then we're going to go around the pearl and back up through these 3 beads of the arm. So now that you have the body done, we're going to put both wires together and put a bead on for the neck. And so holding the 2 wires together, we're going to put it through the 6mm bead and push it right down. And then we want a bigger bead for the head. So we're going to put a bigger bead on there for the head. And what you want to do is just really pull it down snugly, like that. Make sure it's centered. And then we're going to bend this one at an angle and get our right round pliers and turn it around to do a complete circle. That'll be a little loop to put the ribbon or a little cord through. We're going to wind these 2 wires around together and then just clip them really snugly there. And there you have the shape of your yoga figure. So you can push it down a little bit. There. And just a little off note, if you find that this bead twists around a little bit, you can always put another little wire through it to hold it in place, or just take a scrap of wire and twist a little bit at the top and a little bit underneath, and it will hold it. It won't show, it'll be at the back, and it'll hold it in place. So now you want to actually position your little guy. So we're going to do the arms, bend it down and out, and down and out. And then the legs, we'll bend them at the knee, like that. And then we're going to bend the other one at the knee, like that. And if you find it doesn't have enough give, you can kind of loosen it up a bit to make sure that it's bendy. Because if the wire's too tight, it's not going to hold, it's not going to bend very well. So if we go like that, then it looks like a little yoga guy. I'll get the arms down. Like that. And there you have your little yoga guy.